Speaker Mike Johnson is losing his grip on the House, and it's happening faster than many Republicans expected. Just a year ago, Johnson stood before a crowd of House Republicans chanting his name like a championship quarterback. Sleep-deprived after an overnight floor session, he celebrated having rallied his party to pass a sweeping bill that cut taxes, slashed domestic spending, and toughened immigration enforcement, the biggest Republican policy victory of President Trump's second term. He called it a triumph of unified government, saying the party didn't want to waste the opportunity that came with controlling both chambers of Congress and the White House. But waste it, some say, is exactly what has happened. This week, Johnson couldn't muster enough votes to bring a celebratory resolution to the floor, a symbolic measure simply marking the first anniversary of that landmark tax law. The failure had a cascading effect, also derailing the annual defense policy bill that included a pay raise for U.S. troops. That collapse came at the end of a particularly rough 2 weeks in which Johnson lost control of the House floor entirely to a rebellious group of hardline Republicans. And as these episodes have grown more frequent, the reason for them has come into sharper focus. Republicans across the caucus say Johnson has a pattern of making sweeping promises to different factions in order to get key bills across the finish line and then struggling or outright failing to deliver. With a razor-thin majority, every faction matters, and when members feel let down, they push back hard. Over the past year, the pattern has repeated itself multiple times. Johnson repeatedly promised libertarian-minded conservatives that he would push through a ban on central banks issuing digital currencies, a policy they care deeply about. That ban never came. He also cut competing deals with opposing factions over the gasoline blend known as E15, only to watch those conflicting promises explode into a bitter standoff on the House floor that nearly derailed the entire farm bill. Representative Troy Nehls of Texas put it bluntly, "The American people gave Republicans Donald Trump and a unified Congress," he said, "and yet they are squandering the opportunity." That frustration reflects a broader anxiety within the party as it looks toward November's midterm elections. With the majority hanging by a thread, every failed vote and every broken promise carries real political risk. Whether Johnson can restore trust within his caucus and translate his promises into results may well determine the fate of the Republican majority itself. We'll keep watching how this one unfolds.